Hey guys, we're going to go ahead and finish our Unit 7 study guide. So on the back of your paper, you may have already done this, but you're going to write Reconstruction. Unit 7, Reconstruction. So on the first side, we talked about the Civil War. This is sort of like the aftermath of the Civil War. What happens after it? Oh my gosh, that's so blurry. Okay. The first thing that happens after the Civil War is that Texas is readmitted to the United States. We recognize that the Confederate States did not win the war, and we joined the United States once again. In order to do this successfully, we were required to have a new constitution, and this is called the Texas Constitution of 1866. It's the same constitution that we still use. We just make amendments and changes to it constantly, but we still use the same constitution in our state. The constitution that's in Texas reflects the same democratic principles and principles of the Constitution that the United States government has. So, we are going to look at what that means. We already took notes over this, but pretty much it includes things like separation of powers. That means that we have the legislative, executive, and judicial branch of government. I sometimes call that let's eat Jell-O. Legislative, executive, judicial. Next we have popular sovereignty. Keep in mind that this is a test review, so I'm not going to go over all of the principles, just the ones that are on the test. And also, the test is going to ask you about rights guaranteed to citizens, which is also known as the Bill of Rights. Which includes, but is not limited to, I'm writing this because it's part of your test review, and it's on the test. Religion. We have a right to religion in the state of Texas, which is a big deal to us because that hasn't always been the case, as some of our early settlers were forced into Catholicism. So, there you go. Hey Molly, thank you for shaking your maraca. Okay, alright, thanks. Okay, also we looked at the roles of government, which is called Federalism. Who does what, the state or the national government? And we had specifically mentioned that the state is in charge of education, which you're a part of. State is in charge of education. Okay, also when dealing with Reconstruction, we want to mention that there are 3 new, spelled that wrong. I'm still spelling it wrong. Okay, 3 amendments added to the Constitution because of the Civil War. Those 3 amendments are super important, and the first is number 13. That's the 13th amendment. It ends slavery. You're going to have to know these for your test, but not only for your test, for 8th grade, and it's just general information that you need to know. Number 14 grants citizenship to former slaves, so all African Americans. And then number 15 says that suffrage should be given to all men. Suffrage is the right to vote. At this point, we're not including women in this. We're only saying that males have the right to vote. Suffrage given to all males. Thank you for your song. I appreciate that. Okay. Also, this is a bit random, but there's a question on your test that says, what type of profession did former slaves have once they were free? And we want to note that former slaves often became sharecroppers and tenant farmers, which means they're borrowing land from a landowner. Tenant farmers. They're borrowing land, they're growing a little bit of crop, they're not profiting because it's all borrowed. So there you go. That was our chat about Unit 7 Reconstruction. Have a great day.